nothing with any certainty, but the sight of the stars make me dream.
All right. Welcome to another episode of Truth Exists. I'm Marlon Brand here with my good friend Jeff Klein. Jeff, what's up? Hey, Jeff hasn't pulled up yet, but he will be here soon. Uh, we were supposed to go live last night, but I had a long day yesterday. A lot of good stuff taking place. So we decided to go live tonight, and tonight we're going to be discussing what's been taking place lately. How have you been affected by the pandemic?
Hey,
What's going on?
can you hear me?
Hey, what's up, Jeff? Yeah, you hear me?
You're talking in like slow motion.
In slow motion, really. Hold on, let me see. Let me try something
Yeah,
again.
something's wrong.
No, you're coming through really nice and clear. You can't hear me?
You're talking like the devil or something.
Nah, Jeff. I
You
don't
have a
know. Like,
filter on?
nah. Hold on, let me check my microphone, my audio echo cancellation. Let me turn that on. Okay, how do I sound now?
Yeah, you're still sounding crazy.
Hold on, let me see. I don't know. Hold on.
You're scaring me.
It's still sounding crazy? Um, yeah, I don't know what it could be. Like you're coming through nice and clear.
You're still sounding crazy. Do I sound crazy?
No, hold on. Let me try something. No, you sound perfect. Hold on.
Yeah, so I think the host had to reset something. So just wanted to thank everybody and welcome everybody for to Truth Exists. And I'll just kind of start the intro while he resets and gets back on. Uh, my boy Marlon.
All right, you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, man.
I sound better.
Yeah, you sound perfect now.
Oh, okay. I know. I just xed out and came back in. I don't know. It could have been something with the internet and
Yo,
everything.
it was crazy.
Now you sounded
Oh,
perfect on my. I was sitting here like I don't know what's going on.
you were like talking slow mo, like straight up how if you picture how the devil would speak, that's exactly how you sounded. You were like,
Yeah, the devil is a lie. Like I was over here talking. I heard you perfectly normal, but any folks, we're into it. 4 minutes into it, had some little technical difficulties there in the beginning.
yes, truth exists.
Now my fiance want to call in the middle of my show. Go ahead, Jeff. Go ahead and start leading into something. I'm hopping right
Got you.
in. All right.
All right. Well, listen, if you there's been a lot of stuff already going on this week. Last week we kind of went over some things that were going on politically, but today um, it's just been crazy. Facebook, Instagram went down for a little bit. Um, things just don't seem to add up. Behind the scenes, they're talking about they had the whistleblower
Yeah,
who
I heard you
who
talk about Facebook went down. And go ahead, you doing your thing.
Facebook,
I'm back.
Instagram,
Hmm.
and some other app. I forgot what it's called. What's up app?
What's up?
Um,
Yeah.
all went down, but there's a lot of chatter on the back end. I was just saying, uh, it's kind of awkward or weird that all of a sudden this happens. And there was a whistleblower that came out over the weekend, I guess, on Facebook talking
Hmm.
about all the crazy stuff that Facebook. Don't listen to everything that she was saying. But uh, somebody did a background check on the whistleblower, and the whistleblower is like a huge contributor to the Democratic Party,
Hmm.
giving money to multiple Democratic uh, political people. She's
Hmm.
received jobs and different things from different political Democratic from the Democrat side of things. So it's kind of
Hmm.
weird that somebody that's so entrenched in the Democratic Party would come out as a whistleblower, talking about a very liberal um, social media site with a liberal owner, and a site that has been taking away rights and monitoring uh, people who are speaking out against so many things, vaccinations, uh, speaking out against Biden, speaking out against Fauci, speaking out
Yeah.
against um, even speaking out against Clinton. They were shutting people down a couple of years ago.
Uh huh.
In 2016, they were shutting people down. So things just don't add up. And what I was just thinking today, man, um, we were there's been a lot of suggestions that there's going to be a social media blackout pretty soon in October. And we can see the lead up to that
Yeah.
um, is going on. I don't know if you've seen any of the sports games, but the Jets game over the weekend,
Hmm.
they were blasting F Biden, F Biden, F Biden the whole game. They could
Wow.
they couldn't even hide it. Um, they were giving a special award to somebody
Yeah.
um, in one of the games, and all you hear is F Biden behind the scenes, and CNN said, "Oh, they're saying congratulations, Joey," or something. They just straight up lied. You could
Wow.
hear them saying F Biden. The New York Yankee and Mets game, after the game, the whole stadium left by saying F Biden, F Biden. And as the whole stadium walked out into the streets, Yankees and Mets fans both came together to say F Biden. It was echoing through the whole Bronx, they said.
Mm. So
People are waking up at a dramatic rate. They're
yeah.
realizing what
Yeah.
they voted for and what is going on is not right, and it's exciting, but it's drawing the people in power out to make very abrupt and noticeable moves where they were
Hmm.
able to hide in the background. I mean, we nobody was talking about this when when Obama was very few people. I was, but very few people were talking about this when Obama was in his presidency. Um, and because he had all of the pieces together, he could he could operate underneath that stealth. And he would go out and say a great speech. He would, you know, go have Jay-Z come to the White House and put a have a concert with the OJs or something, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
And so what's happening is my belief. Um, all those things that I've been talking about are all coming to a head, and they're having to speed up because, first of all, we talked about the Arizona audit came out.
Yep. Yep. I saw that.
Okay, so well today a letter came out, and can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay, okay. No, I just changed my screen because I just wanna go. So a letter came out for all of the state legislation across the nation. Um, and I don't know how many people have signed it so far, but I guess all the Republican state legislation and Senate have signed a petition to send to Congress to basically do a full forensic audit on the 2020 elections.
Wow. Wow.
And they're saying that basically there has been so much proven fraud that how could they not do a forensic audit? And they list exactly what they want in that forensic audit, so it would show the proof, just like Arizona.
So what exactly is a forensic audit? Explain to me.
So I got you. So when right after the election, remember they kept on saying, "Oh, we a forensic audit is not a recount."
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what happens with a recount is they just recount basically to make sure that all the votes are tallied. Whatever vote is tallied is that is in the system, right?
Right. Right.
So it's a very so it's kind of like a very surface audit. It'd be like if I wanted to I'm just trying to think of something very similar. Uh, I'm just trying to. Okay. So like if if you were um if you were getting in trouble for um some kind of money laundry, right?
Got you.
Laundering money. And you told me, and I was investigating you, and you on the books you had $150 million in the bank on the books, right?
Yep.
Uh, uh, the surface level of what they were doing was basically I would go into your bank account and count all the money you have and say, "Yep, there's $150 million here. He's right," and leave you alone.
Mm-hmm.
But a forensic audit would say, "Okay, you got 150,000, 150 million in it. Let's count it. But not only are we going to count it, where did each dollar come from?"
Oh, I got you. Yeah. Okay. All right.
That's the difference. So
All right.
now I'm going deeper underneath the surface and
Mm-hmm.
saying, okay, oh, so you got $10 million from this company. Where did they get that money from?
So pretty much with the votes, where did these votes come from?
So they're basically saying, where are you getting these votes from?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then that's how they count. Okay, there was, I'm just making up numbers. There was 3% of the votes came from dead people who they had on the voter registration, but they never took off, and somehow they voted. 3% were people who moved and were not supposed to vote in that district,
Yeah. Mhm.
moved to a different district, and
Mhm.
still voted in their old district.
That's not.
Um, they're not supposed to do that.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, some some of the stuff was just uh, the actual ballots that they created. Some of the ballots were doubled, or some of the ballots weren't filled out correctly, and they were still counted for. I mean, so they go into when you look at the forensic, they're looking at the actual ballots, what they say, and when that ballot gets approved for Biden, did it really say Biden or did it say Trump?
Oh, see, that's the thing about it. See, a lot of people thought that this this that Arizona turnover, or they didn't turn over. They found Biden is um still won, but it still just doesn't make sense, and that's why we're saying now with the forensic audit, they have to dig a little deeper to actually see if there was any manipulation as far as by winning, if there was multiple names used, uh, if people, like you said, weren't in the right district still voting, and there was a lot of talk like that already. Right after the election happened, people were already saying and showing not just ballots in the wrong district, but ballots of people that were dead. People were voting and registered to vote, and they were dead. Like
Yeah,
it's crazy the amount of you know mis information that we had got when it came out about the actual count of these ballots and everything. So this forensic audit definitely sounds like an approach that should be taken.
well, what the Arizona audit did show that there was so much corruption, and what they did find, they should recall their electoral votes.
Mm,
So basically, Trump did win in that county.
okay.
He didn't win in the state, but the electoral votes that came from that county. Um, I mean, the actual audit that came from that county proves that the electoral votes that the state sent were not accurate.
Oh, okay,
Because
good.
they should have never sent them because there's so much corrupt.
Okay.
I'll give you an example. So I've
Mhm.
got some numbers here. So 13.6% of the vote of the ballots or the votes that they recorded were corrupted ballot images. So the images on the ballots were corrupted.
Mhm.
So what that means is I don't know if you ever heard of Sharpie Gate.
I think I heard of it. It sounded run by me. What was it?
So Sharpie Gate was basically you're not supposed to use Sharpies on ballots.
Yeah.
And, and so they were handing out Sharpies to people in line on purpose. So when they filled out their ballots and they wrote who they would, it would come up as basically corrupt,
Yeah.
and then they would get to end. Then it's up to them to enter when they rescanned them
Yeah.
who they actually meant to vote for. So what they were doing was handing out all the Sharpies to the Republicans.
See. Yo.
and to whoever they thought. And even if somebody put a Sharpie down and filled out the box for Biden,
Mm-hmm.
then if it was filled out for Biden, and it would still come up corrupt, then they would just put down Biden.
Yo.
So what they did was they basically kept all those corrupted ones off to the side and
Yeah.
waited. Remember, remember they shut it down at a certain time.
Yeah.
They actually have the video of the people going in and scanning those corrupted ones, putting in whatever candidate they wanted to, which ended up being Biden. So 13% of those were like that.
See the lengths that people go through, man. And I mean, it sounds crazy on the surface, just in discussion, but people, please believe it. Please believe these people are sick and they want to win at all at any cost.
They are
And
ready. They are, yeah, they're ready to lose
you know,
power, man.
it is. And like you said, with an approval rating of Joe Biden right now, I mean, it's just horrible, man. I mean, even to the constituents that they supposedly are advocating for, they're spitting right in your face. I mean, the guy just gave $6.3 billion to Afghan refugees, taxpayer dollars. 6.3 billion. Like, dude,
Free
look.
co free college.
Yeah, like, look
In,
at.
in this new bill, see, people need to start paying attention because this is really okay. So we talked about the audit. These two
Yeah.
bills that are about to come up, and they're trying to pass.
Mm-hmm.
They're they're all connected. So in basically in the infrastructure bill that they're trying to pass,
Mm-hmm.
see, the states always have have should, and from the beginning of the Constitution, the states have more power over the federal government. So their powers is strong, and they can
Mm-hmm.
take those votes away, and the federal government can't do anything about it. Congress can't do nothing, none of them,
Show
because
you right.
it's in the state legislation
Show you right.
that voting is, all the rules for voting comes out
Yeah.
of the state. So that's why each state has different rules.
Mm-hmm.
So what's happening is the federal government in the new bill that they're trying to pass for uh, the infrastructure bill, they are putting in, sneaking in different uh, laws and different things that would take that power away from the state. So even if we did do a forensic audit,
Yeah.
if they passed that bill, it would be null and void, and we won't be able to do anything about it
Just based off.
as a country.
Okay, I got you. Got you.
So they are sneaking in all this stuff in the infrastructure bill. They're sneaking in. I mean, um, they, they basically are allowing people to come to this country illegally and
Yeah.
give them free housing, spending money,
Yeah.
and free schooling.
Mm-hmm. But
I
but
mean,
Biden but Biden
but
wants
they
to tell.
won't.
He's
Oh,
giving them
go ahead.
free schooling, right? He's giving them free schooling, but then at the same time, he's telling the people that he doesn't know if he's able to cancel your
School
debt,
debt. Yeah.
yeah, school
Yep.
debt. When when Chuck Schumer already came out and said, "Hey, yeah, you can, you do have the power to do it, to put it in an executive order." But then Nancy Pelosi comes out and she says he doesn't. So these are the games that they play with the people. These are the games that they play. But continue on, Jack.
Well, especially for their own constituents.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they just keep on. I mean, they're playing this balance between we need to keep the black vote, but we also need the progressive vote. When I say progressives, I'm talking about the socialistic,
Hmm.
communist. the the Bernie Sanders thing.
Yeah.
This 6 point something trillion dollars. Bernie said it's too small. We need to double
Oh my God.
it. We This is the last push. Now that listen to what I'm about to say. This is the last push to crumble our economy. It is the last thing. If they pass those two bills on top of what's going on with COVID
Yep.
and mandates,
Mm-hmm.
they're about to they've mandated the border patrol people on purpose. So now
Yeah.
you got border patrol people that are going to walk away. You've got um another 50,000 Haitians on their way up to walk into America. They'll be here within a couple weeks, I think they said.
Oh my gosh.
50,000
And the
at the
border.
same time at the border. At the same time, these mandates are going to hit, and there's not going to be any border control. They're all going to walk away,
Of course.
and
Like
nobody wants. And they're the bad guys.
no, no,
'Cause they're
but it's all like you said. It's all a part of the plan to to crumble the economy. See, America is allowing all of this immigration to come in. It's almost like diluting your public, and you're actually trying to shift the social classes, and actually it's sickening when you actually think about it, because no other country is operating the way that the United States is operating when it comes to the treatment of the people. Now we have totalitarian rule and things like that in certain areas of the world, but for the most part, the rights and the comfortability of the people is what the government should be in best interest for. But in this case right here, it's too much. The government has gotten so tied up with the lobbying, and everybody has their own political agenda, that it's gotten so far away from actually helping the people, that now the people's uh the people's decision or choice doesn't even matter anymore. You know,
yeah,
there, your word doesn't even matter, especially with the black vote. The black vote is so easy to get, because all we have to do is set up. The one place had a collard green coalition, another place was giving out catfish nuggets, one place was giving out a bag of weed and all this, just to come and vote, just to come in. I said, and I said the parade, the dancing, shucking, and jiving. That's all you got to do to get the black vote, and the Democrats know that. But actually doing something for the black vote, there's nothing that you get out of that. While other groups specifically get tangible help, but either not even that being the case, I said, why aren't we collectively just looking out for our home base as a whole? I said, it's just we divide and as I said, America makes you bring up race, because this is the only way, that this is how they allocate funds, this is how they create jobs, this is how they it's set up that way strategically to have a certain outcome. So these discussions are always going to be had. I don't want to always have to be talking about race, or this person has this opportunity. I said, but when you live in America and you see the way that things are being handled, it's just it's horrible, man. It's sad. It's sad. But at the end of the day, the people that's going to be left holding the bag, it's just us, the common folk. The everyday working man and woman are going to be the ones left holding the bag. We're going to be the ones left there just telling our stories, going back and forth on what we think is going on. But at the end of the day, they know exactly what's going on. But it's a lot, man. It's a lot.
yeah. I mean, right now there is hundreds of shipping cargoes just sitting right off the coast of
Hmm.
America, the East Coast and the West Coast. all around America. These boats are just waiting
Oh,
and to
yeah.
be unloaded. And
They
well, go ahead.
no, 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 because the fact that because there's a backup at the job. Actually, they can't even receive a whole bunch of There's some cold products and some like so many different materials and everything. They were just saying that they don't have because everything's backed up. And I thought about this conversation. We had this conversation about a couple weeks ago about those
Hmm.
ships being blocked off on the coast on for
Yeah, purposely,
purposefully. So
and
that
and
goes right.
also through mandates.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying purposely through, but they're putting strict mandates on truckers.
Mm-hmm.
They're putting on people in the shipyards. I mean, so every step of the way, they have just crumbled the infrastructure
Mm-hmm.
of our supply chain on purpose.
Yeah.
On purpose. And I want to also say that only out of that, guess what? Out of the 6.9, I think it's 6.8 or 6.9 trillion dollars for the for the infrastructure bill, guess what percent is going to infrastructure?
Go ahead.
Six 6%.
Oh wow. Oh,
Actually less than six. A little bit, it's like 5.8 or 5.9%.
that's horrible. Just
The
horrible.
rest is going to art galleries. It's going to Nancy Pelosi's district to build some kind of huge park in San Francisco. It's just sickening the things that are in there.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
because that's what it's all about. It has nothing to do with the people. It's only about how can I get my people, my lineage, the ones that come after me, building my name. Because you got to understand this too. These people that are in office, they had uncles, fathers, mothers before them that were already in position, and they're just carrying on the torch. But what's happening now is that we are getting so many young men and women that are waking up to the truth and are in position to actually make some real change, that it's only their only play right now would be to what your theory would be is that they have to crumble the economy right now. They have to find a way to shut everything down, to get everything to be like to go to that great reset.
They
That
have to
that
go
would
to
be
the Great Reset.
that's the only way they can
Yeah.
pretty much what we would say save face right now.
Well, yeah, because just think about it. Because the two bills that are on the table they
Uh-huh.
have to either raise the debt ceiling, and if they raise the debt ceiling, there's to pass these bills,
Mm-hmm.
which means basically Biden came out and said that the infrastructure package will not cost America a dime. He said that exact words. Won't cost us a dime. It's all paid for.
Mm-hmm.
That is a true. That was I don't understand how people can allow somebody to get up there and lie. Like literally every
Yeah.
news, nobody reported on it. That would be like me going up, just showing up at a doing a press conference saying I'm the president of the United States. I'm the real president of the United States.
They
Everybody would know that I'm not,
bold
but
face.
none of the mainstream media would just skip over it and be like, "Oh, well, he had a nice speech."
Mm-hmm.
You
Bold
know,
face.
like it's a bold-faced lie. And so they can't pass that bill without raising the debt ceiling. And so raising the debt ceiling means um, anytime that a budget is written by Congress and how much spending they're going to spend. So we've got the budget that needs to be passed
Yeah.
and the infrastructure that needs to be passed. And then they have to figure out On top of that, are they going to raise the budget? So, you know, when we as normal people, you know, I don't know if you've ever done a budget for your home and you look through all your you look through all of your bills and what you pay out a month,
Yep.
all
Yep.
that kind of stuff, right? So you know what you need to
Yep.
make every month
Yep.
to what you have to spend and how much is left, right?
Hmm. Yep.
You personally can't say, you know what, I'm just gonna go buy another car, I'll buy a house, another house, and I'll buy a TV.
No.
You
Right.
know, I'm gonna
That's got to be able to.
and keep on buying stuff and spending money that you know at the end of the month you can't afford.
Hmm.
And then turn around and say, well, you know what? I'm going to raise my budget then, but never raise the amount of income that's coming
That
into
you're
your home.
making the same difference.
It's the
Yeah.
same thing.
That's exactly what's happening to our country right now.
And every time they raise that debt limit, they are basically um, de uh, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. They're decreasing the value of the dollar.
Oh, okay. There you go. Yeah.
And so every time, because what's happening basically, China's going through some major stuff too with their economy. And so they're pushing for the same thing in China where they can crumble their economy and go to digital currency.
Wow.
I just, it's a rate. And then on top of that, in the infrastructure plan, we talked about this too. The reason why they're trying to hurry up and get this all stuff done because I guess Texas is going to be the largest. I just read this. It's going to be the, the largest distributor of um, digital currency in the country.
Wow. That's interesting.
So Texas jumped up and said, "Yo, we're going to jump right on this as a state, and we're going to jump right into it."
So they must be. They must have all of the Bitcoin vending machines and all that stuff down. Oh, ATMs and all that. They might
Yeah,
be where it's all happening at. That's
yeah.
interesting. That's interesting. Very interesting. For them.
But people are really, I mean, I just another article I read. Remember, what was that Asian guy that ran for president? I think me and you had a discussion of he wanted to have like an allowance for everybody and everybody what was his name?
Oh, Andrew Yang.
Yeah, he was an entrepreneur and he had a game plan that he was Democrat and he
Yeah,
had a
yeah.
game plan.
I mess with Yang Gang.
Yeah, you liked him. I thought you did.
I like Andrew
Well,
Yang.
guess what?
But
He today he announced he left the Democratic Party and
yes.
now he's an independent because he cannot take the polarity and the hatred that is
Yeah.
going on in the Democratic Party.
It's too much. He realized what it really was. See, that's the thing.
Yeah,
You either better be a independent or a far right. You gotta get away
and
from.
you know what he said? What made me really think about this because I I really don't think people realize. He said he grew up as a Democrat. He never really felt like he aligned with them, but for some reason, he always represented them. Like he just woke up and said, "Why am I with these people when they don't really align with my standards and my beliefs?" And and I think a lot of people are really waking up and saying, "What are these beliefs? I don't understand." This
Mm-hmm.
is crazy. This isn't what I signed up for
At all.
um, at all. And why am I continuing to do something just because I always did it?
That's
And
and that was an analogy somebody I was listening to earlier, Tariq Nasheed. He was saying, the Democratic Party. I said, them followers. He said they're like that. They're at the slot machine, and they keep playing the slot machine over and over and over and over again. You're getting the same result. Nothing's coming out. He said when you go to the casino, you got to go to different slot machines, and you get a result from one or two of them. But if you stay at the same one, he said like the Democrats, you stay at there, you just keep pulling the slot. Nothing's happening. 10, 20 years. You just saying
yeah,
it may happen this time. It may happen this time. It may. You have to get up and go and do something else. You see, this party has not helped whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? Like me and my boy, we're getting heavily involved right now in here in Rochester, and I know in the near future we're going to be on the political scene heavy, just by the way of how our plans and everything are lining up. And as I'm doing my research and I'm just looking at the district the assemblies. I'm listening in on meetings and I'm seeing what's going on with the money. And I'm like, wow, this is all Democratic ran confusion. Depressed the mayor. She was resigning December 1st. But her charges have been reduced, so she won't lose her law degree here. But she's been found for misappropriating campaign funds. But anyway, her lawyer's trying to say it wasn't that she didn't control the funds personally. Whatever the case be, I say, oh, up here in Rochester, there's a bunch of crap going on, but I don't know. I'm just ranting. Go ahead, Jeff.
no, it's you know, I think I heard in New York City, um, the small businesses and restaurateurs and the small businesses, uh, they're starting to step up and push back against the governor and the mayor,
Yeah.
um, and saying this doesn't make sense. We're losing out on money. We can't survive like this, and you're cutting a third to a half of um my income right off the bat by
Hmm.
saying because now people are not getting vaccinated be, just because they're being told to. And so you got sports people coming out. Did you see the two basketball players came out
Oh,
last week?
yeah.
I don't know their names, but
Yeah.
they
Yeah. I see that
basically was like
handle.
he was
And
like I had it. I had it. Why would I need to get vaccinated?
yep.
And then the other guy was speaking up for his somebody. I think he was the captain, right? They
Hmm.
kicked the captain off the team, and he was like, "Yo, that's his decision. I would never question him if he had some other illness and he
Yep.
had to do something for his family. Why would I look at him as not being a leader? He's taking care of him and his family. That's being a leader, and he's
Exactly.
standing up for something that he believes in.
Yep.
They, to tell you the truth, it doesn't even make sense.
For real, man.
Nicki Minaj just came back and she blasted. Yo, she straight up said, "Look what she said. Look, my people, listen." Something like that. I'm roughly interpreting what she said.
Yeah. Go
She
ahead.
she was like, "My people need to pay attention." She said, She said, "Who did they get to clap back at me? They had to get a I guess it sounded like she was saying a gay man,
Hmm.
but it could have been like a woman or a transvestite. I'm not sure. But they were black. She said they had to find a black person to get back at me right away at Twitter so that it wasn't a white person. So nobody could say racist. So nobody could call them racist.
Yeah.
So they're using, she's basically saying she's using our own people to create a narrative for for them that are hurting our people. And she has articulated. I mean, she was cursing and stuff, but she said it. If you get a chance, you should check it out. She said it really, really clear, and she was just like, none of this makes sense, and y'all are going along with it, kind of thing. And
Check it out. I definitely gotta check it out with Nikki, man. I like
yeah,
the stance on everything because they definitely tried to slander her name and smash her down in Twitter. But what happened is that it was resurgence. Like it was a lot of people that backed her up, that held her up, saying during these times, like, nah, she has the right to have her own opinion. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
The
Oh,
educated.
oh, that's what she said. She said 80% of the people y'all follow, that y'all listen to, feel the same way I feel, but they're scared to say something because they don't want
Hmm.
to lose their money.
Yeah, this is all a game. It's all a game.
It's crazy.
It is. It's all a game.
Australia, I don't know if you've heard anything about them, but
But
um,
mm-mm.
they're
You know what happened in
they're
Australia?
high. Well, Australia has been on the strictest lockdowns in the world for COVID.
Mm-hmm.
They're only allowed out of their house um, for an hour for exercise.
What?
Yeah, it's crazy over there,
What's
and they're standing up saying, they don't even have any cases in over there, and they're still locked down. And so they've been protesting for the last maybe, well, they've been protesting for a long time, but it was a small group of young people really
Yeah.
protesting.
Okay.
And now it's getting bigger and bigger. But there was just a report saying that instead of, how they try to make it seem like the, the emergency rooms are over capacity, the hospitals are over capacity with COVID patients.
Yeah.
Well, the emergency rooms are overcapacitated, not with COVID patients, but from of protesters that are getting beat up by the cops, brutally getting beat up. And they showed a whole bunch of people just covered in blood, face all ripped, ears all hanging off. I mean,
Wow.
it looked really bad. These cops are going out and busting these people up. And it got so bad that some of the cops quit and said, "We're not doing this anymore. This isn't what I signed up for."
Well, so they're being ordered to do it, or are they just being
Yeah, no,
what?
they're getting ordered because basically, if you're there, you're violating the law. Because you're not supposed to be there.
Gotcha.
So, in America, they allow you to protest. So you could protest, and as long as you're peaceful and everything's going well, they're not going to mess with, what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
the, the cops are them, they might, push you to the side and say you can't go down this street, stay on this in this line, and you guys could be good. But over there, basically, you're breaking the law if you are out, and they can arrest you at any moment. So they're just grabbing people and beating them up and throwing them paddy wagons.
That's sad, man. I did not know that.
Yeah,
I didn't
shooting them
know.
with rubber bullets. I mean, I've watched videos of the cops just open fire on a crowd of protesters with rubber bullets. You just see people diving and getting hit and rolling on the ground. It's really bad over there.
Wow.
And the reason why they can get away with the violence and the attitude like is because Australia doesn't have any guns. They don't have any way of protecting themselves. They wouldn't do that in America because how many people show up to these, you know, you see these patriots show up to these Trump rallies with all their, assault rifles hanging at their belt
Yep.
because they're like, no, this is our right. We can carry. You want to jump? Go ahead and jump on. We got just as much stuff as you got. You know
Mm.
what I'm
No, for real.
saying?
Exactly.
Yeah. So.
and that's
There's
something.
a lot of stuff going
Yeah, and but even with the things with the guns, I said that's why I'm kind of happy for you that you're in the position to be in the state to where guns are aren't frowned upon, because just to have a front line of protection, and to be in a state to where the laws lean more towards I was just say right wing type of ideology and understanding. I mean, you won't be able to fully flesh out and give us a true a feel of how you experience it, because you're still kind of young being down there. But I just know, just to be in an atmosphere to where people have just a different mindset on how their outcome in life is. I said that's
on.
got to just be something to be
Well,
thankful.
I'm hoping that I'll have my gun. Basically, my 30 days is over. I'm just setting up uh, the shipping from New York to down here, and I have my gun. Once I have my guns, um, what all I got to do is I got to take a safety course, an 8-hour safety course,
Yeah.
uh, and it's $30. Yeah, $30 to apply. You apply online for a concealed weapon, and take your 8-hour safety course.
Oh, nice.
But but I found a place. I'm gonna do a couple different. They've got just general safety. Then they have a home invasion um course, and then they have like a tactical, basically end of the world course where they teach you not just the kind of the regular stuff, but like what guns to have, what each gun's used for. There's a concept not just down here, but in a lot of the gun um, states is it. Well, there's a mindset that
Uh
you should have your 5 guns, um, and each gun is for a certain purpose. So you have your handgun, personal protection,
hmm
and home invasion, because you want a handgun in your house because
Yeah.
of small quarters, that kind of stuff. And then when you carry outside, to have it, in your belt loop or underneath so you can conceal it. And then you have a 22 rifle to go small game hunting.
Yeah.
Um, and then you have a shotgun, which could be for personal protection and hunting.
hmm
And then you have uh, assault rifle for straight up, war. And, and if you really need to go to bat for, a large group of people are coming at your house, you have your
hmm
assault rifle. And then you have your long gun rifle for long gun hunting. And so those 5 guns are what you should have in your arsenal.
Your
And so,
essential
yeah,
arsenal.
yeah,
Nice. Nice. Now, the guns that you're receiving, just to remind the people listening, is that they're guns that your father had left behind there. Um,
yeah.
been waiting to get them for years, but being that you were up here in Rochester, it wasn't feasible. It just didn't make sense to do it. But now that you're in a state, in a place to where you can do it, now is this like it's a bunch of guns? Do you know how many's going to be in there? Or you're going to just unveil all of that once they come? Like what's that
Well,
situation?
there's 3 guns, I believe.
Okay.
So the 3 handguns he got towards the end of his life. I mean, uh, he started he started with 1 gun, and
Mm-hmm.
then he realized that he wasn't going to be here for a while. And so, my father, he he really always thought about things uh, like once he's gone, what can he give somebody, or I mean, he was always a giving person,
Yeah.
but he knew, I was, I can't, I couldn't afford. I mean, the gun that I know that one of the guns that he has is like, um, it's almost like it's a 9,000, I mean 9,000, 900 to $1,000 gun, you know, a handgun. So they're expensive. I couldn't just drop that on a gun, and he didn't want me to go get a cheap gun, because you can get a $200-300 gun, but it's not going to be it's not going to be the best gun for you,
Yeah.
And
I
he loved doing all the research too. So
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. See, now you have to get them and put them up in the house in different spots of the house. So if anything ever happens, you'd be like, you get to move around like Guyver, like under the shelf.
oh man,
Mm, one
I'm gonna
right.
I already got them in my what's it called, in my cart on Amazon. I got my fingerprint um cases, lock boxes. So
Oh, nice,
you
nice,
just put your finger on it, it pops, and it's ready to go. You just keep it.
nice.
Basically, you keep it loaded. No safety. So like the big I guess the big controversy, or like, I don't say controversy, but the big um, difference in theory for guns is a lot of people who carry concealed weapons, they don't. There is no safety. You don't you don't put a safety on it, because if you have to take the safety off, by then you could be dead.
Mm,
So when you're carrying a gun for protection, you don't keep your safety on. Is what some people will believe. I'm not saying I believe that. There's other people that say, you know what, I'm going to keep my safety on, and train to turn it on and off and on and off. And if I get into that situation, hopefully I can turn my safety on off faster. Some guns, basically the safety is one hit on the trigger, so they don't have a
mm-hmm.
safety. You just If you pull it the first time, it won't shoot, but then you pull it again, it's almost like it you just keep on pulling, and it'll shoot after a while. Pull the
Oh,
trigger and
okay.
it'll
See, I've
shoot
never.
more
Oh,
than once.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Nice, nice.
So I'm learning a lot. I don't know everything about guns, but I'm not the type of person that's just going to be carrying a gun everywhere I go. But I will carry it. Um, I'm thinking for the first 6 months to 8 months. I want to carry it, get used to carrying it, and then I'll put it away, um, and just carry it when I want to. But you got to get used to carrying it.
Yeah, because you gotta get used to being able to go for it too. If you have to, like, hey, let me. You
Yeah,
don't want that moment to really come upon you. You be like, oh, it fall down in your pants, something crazy. I don't know. You want to be ready when the time is ready.
yeah, but you got to wear it correctly. You can't if you're concealing it. No, well, this was in New York. If I had a concealed license, um, and I had my gun in my, like, say, on my side, and you saw it, I
Yeah.
could get in trouble for it, because at that moment I'm not concealed. It's not concealed. So you could tell on me, and I can get in trouble for that. I could lose my license for that.
Wow.
New York, they try to get your license, get rid of your license, as quick as possible. And even in this new bill, the new Reconstruction bill, they made it so they're trying to make it so no ex-military people can get a gun license,
Wow.
because they know that all the military are Trump fans.
Yeah. See, that's the thing about it. Trump had the military. That was in
Yeah,
the police stations,
yeah,
the municipalities that people that we had looked that they scream out defund, but at the same time they turn around and say, "Can you defend us?" Just back.
Exactly. I mean, the I forgot what what state was that? They did a huge police, like they cut the police funding, defund the police. They did it, and within months they had to go back and change and hire and build back the police because it wasn't working, and they realized it wasn't working.
Wow.
It's crazy.
See, yeah, it is when you think about it. But like with all of these different, you know, uh, instances that's taking place as far as like the mandates, and I did get the jab. I didn't share that with everybody. I got the shot. I'll be the test dummy. I went for it. I did the shot. I got the what was the Moderna shot.
Why? Oh, the Moderna. Okay.
I did the Moderna shot. Yeah, I'll be the human guinea pig. But listen, they're saying that the boosters are optional, but some people are saying that you have to get the booster. And I'm sitting here like I'm not going to do the second shot. I just did it just to get in. Hey, I'm here, but
Yeah.
I don't know if I have to continue. I didn't have any reactions to anything. Everything kind of went smooth. I mean, for the most part, but like I said, for us here,
Well, I think the Moderna was the reaction is on the second shot,
yeah. See, that's the
and the
thing.
Pfizer, the reaction was mostly on the first shot.
Mm,
They were, I don't know. It could be the opposite. I just remembered someone saying that. But just today, our boys at Pfizer came out with a report
hmm.
stating that natural immunity is definitely better than the vaccines.
Wow, Pfizer said that themselves.
Yes. And 77% of the people in the hospital in England, 77% of the COVID patients that are in the hospital right now or the last month have been people who had the jab.
Wow.
77%.
No,
And
no,
that and in Israel that percentage is higher. Israel's on their third or fourth shot and they're still having people dying of COVID um, that had boosters and everything. Because what's happening is the more you have a booster, the less your immune system is working. So you're basically putting yourself out there with, uh, and your immune system is just getting weaker and weaker and weaker. And they're basically about to, they're saying that this year's flu is going to
mm,
be the worst year ever, right?
yeah,
Well, it is going to be worse because guess what's going to happen? They're going to start to count how many people have the flu. And what's going to happen is all the people, I'm not saying you, but the people that have gotten the jab and got all the shots, and probably by the time flu season really hits, they're going to talk about a booster. Your immune system's going to be so weak that you're going to be able to pick up the flu where you normally wouldn't. So you're basically just setting up, especially these old people. You're setting them up for to get the flu. It's crazy. So they got Pfizer came out with that today. Uh, I believe. that um
Say it
oh
again.
I,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
well, no, I was saying Pfizer came out with that report saying that natural immunity is better.
Yeah, I
Um,
remember.
on on
Yeah.
on top of that, I watched a whole video. Um, Canada is having a whole bunch of mandates and lockdowns too, and
Okay.
they're doing the COVID passport or the vaccine passports, and you
Yeah.
can't go into any type of um, like any type of restaurant or store if you don't have your passport on you. So I saw a video today of everybody came out at one time and had a picnic, and they were sharing food and having basically a street party on blankets right outside of all of the restaurants that wouldn't let you in if you didn't have a vaccine. And so there was hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people down these roads where the restaurants were in the cities, and
Yeah.
they were just sitting on blankets having picnics, listening to music, sharing foods, drinking. Families were out there, kids were out there having fun, and they were just like, "Well, if you're not letting us in there, then we're just gonna park outside and hang out, and we don't need the jab for that."
There you go. When there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah,
And I respect people for standing firm on what they believe.
yeah. So, is there anything else you?
I mean, no, I had a few other little things I probably wanted to touch on, but no, my dog is getting on my nerves right now because they keep digging at this garbage bag, and I gotta grab him and throw him in his cage. So I got this rustling in the background that's getting on my nerves too. But no,
Got
for the most part, like I said, we gave the people um some things to follow up on. Um, this has just been a trying time, a trying year, and I'm honestly, like I said last time, I'm glad people are feeling the brunt of Biden's wrath. Like I said, as it continues to get his approval rating continues to drop, they're trying to say now that the Supreme Court's approval rating has dropped as well. But hey, either here or there, they're just trying to match that up because they know that Trump had got those people in there. That's the only reason trying to tie that to that. But we
right.
see the reason why Biden's approval rating is dropping because, like I said before, his constituents, the things that they promised, the things that they said that they weren't going to do, and the things they say that they're trying to do, people are more smart and more wiser now. We know what's going on. We could Google and pull things, information up ourselves, and see that you're blatantly lying in our face. But I just hope that he gets exposed, and I hope that the people continue to just see that see all the hypocrisy and everything that's been taking place all along.
Yeah, and I hope, and the other thing is that you know, just today, uh, 1.6 million people, I think it was, 1.6 million signed up for Telegram in one day.
Wow, that's a lot of people.
And the reason is because a lot of people been saying there's going to be a social media blackout because they can't have all these people knowing the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And so, how do we find out the truth? We we got to look on alternative news. We got to you get on Twitter, you get on Facebook. A lot of people actually read their news from Facebook.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they
And
do.
they follow their people and then they watch their videos. And I mean, I do it too.
Yeah.
But that's not the only place that I go. But there's a large group of people, especially older population, that are getting their information from Facebook. The younger generations all on Twitter and Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
and they're getting, and I was digging Twitter
Mm-hmm.
around the election time, but then I realized how corrupt and how crazy Twitter can get when you put yourself in that bubble.
Oh yeah, yeah. It becomes a spectacle as just as any other social media platform.
And yeah, but you get into these um like what's the word I'm looking for? You can put yourself in any narrative you want
Yeah.
and stay there, and that narrative will feed itself, and that'll be the only thing you see.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's just how Twitter is. Yep. Because I have a Truth Exist Twitter. I have a personal Marlon brand Twitter, and I have a Rash Radio Twitter, and they all feed me exactly what it is. So whatever that stands for, that's all I get.
Yeah, so that's it, it's dangerous. So I was like, and then plus Twitter kicked all the people I was listening to off anyway. So
Yeah, yeah. So, but that's what I'm glad all these alternative platforms are here as well. That's why we just stay in communication and just continue to share those different platforms and stuff with people
yeah,
as well. But I done heard so many new different platforms out there. I'm like, wow, I'm so happy just to hear that people are able to get their information
yeah,
out other ways because with all of the banning and censoring and all of that now, I'm telling you, man, you can't put anything right now on Facebook without it being questioned or taken down, going in jail. You know, so, but
yeah.
for the
Well,
most, that's
I
what I.
did hear. I will leave on this. We'll close on this point, and I
Yep.
might spark a little bit of conversation. But I heard a very interesting synopsis of what's going on in America, and
Hmm.
I've been really, really like thinking about it, but also doing some research and just kind of looking at. And I can't tell you who it was. I tried to go back to find it. It was just a quick video of some guy, and I can't remember what it was, but
Uh
who
huh.
it was. But he said that right now America, the America, the country is has a mental health crisis, and America is as a whole is basically turning inside and hating ourselves
Yeah.
and hating America like everything America is hated.
Yeah.
Everything. The
Yeah.
flag, right? What
Yeah.
what America would stand for. Freedom is hated. Um, the people are hated. This group and that
Yeah.
group. Um, and he just kind of like broke it down how somebody who is has a mental health issue um, basically turns inward and starts to hate themselves so much that they can actually hurt themselves. And if you think about what's
Mm.
going on, these politicians and a lot of these people that are doing some of this stuff are actually doing things that they know are going to hurt America and what we stand for and who we are as a people. And they're willing to hurt themselves in the process as well to stand on some nonsense
Yeah.
because they're a Republican or because they're a Democrat or because they're, you know, this group or that group. And it really hit home that when I worked in a shelter, I saw the devastation
Uh huh.
of mental health and how people could not, I mean, they just could not get themselves together. They would work hard. They were great people, big hearts. I mean, these people cared about me.
Yeah.
They looked out for me. Um, and I looked out for them. But for them to hold a job and to get an apartment, and not come back to the shelter within a couple months,
Yeah, that wasn't.
that was the hardest thing for me to see. These people just keep on going in, coming
Yeah,
out, getting all happy because they got a new job, they got an apartment, you know, they're decorating their apartment, you know, blah blah blah,
yeah.
and then they're back in, and I just that depression, that sense of I can never be better is hot, is really crushing the American people, man. I know just from knowing you and my group of people, we can be better.
Oh
But
yeah.
if like we can support each other, and I could cheer you on, you could cheer me on. There's
Yep.
people in your immediate sphere that you could do that, and there's people
Yep.
that you can't. But if we can't come together and root for America to be better, we're gonna implode, man. And it doesn't matter who's the president, who's not the president. If we're hating ourselves that much that we would destroy the good things that we do have, and the people that that are struggling right now,
Right.
to force them to struggle more. I mean, these taxes that are about to come down the pipe, man, they're talking about only taxing the rich. It's going to hit, you know, it's going to hit us all.
Oh, big time. Big
You
time.
know, that concept of trickle down economics, you've heard that before, right?
Yeah. You said what kind of
Trickle
economic?
down,
Yeah.
trickle down economics.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I just found out that that is only, there's no such thing as trickle down economics.
No.
There's no such thing because it's not a theory. It never was. What it
No.
was a way for the Democrats to tie and continue to tax the middle class and the lower income people. To say, look, it's the trickle down economics doesn't work. If we let the if we give all the money to the rich, that money doesn't trickle down to the poor, and that's where it came from. They they said that the Republicans wanted to allow the rich to get rich so that money would trickle down. And it is just something that they made to be less taxes, less government,
Yeah. Yeah.
and more freedom sound bad. And what's really happening is there is such thing as trickle down economics. When you start taxing people and you start saying, we're going to tax these rich people, we're going to take their money so that we can give more social um, stuff to the people, those taxes start to trickle down because it's never just the rich. The rich know how to get out of taxes. Their whole game is not paying taxes. So
Yeah.
you can't
Exactly.
say we're going to tax the rich and not fix the tax codes and all the loopholes. They know the loopholes and they know that there's loopholes and they're just talking, middle class and low income people don't realize how many loopholes there really are.
Right.
And,
Because
and, and
out there to
and
even share that information for you like that. Like you said, you have to actually go in there and figure that out.
yeah, you got to be rich to know it. Well,
Yeah.
you got to be rich to pay somebody to, to, to get those loopholes. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah. Of
But
course.
for these people that are hurting, and you're like, yeah, tax the rich. These rich are getting too rich. Why they get rich? And I gotta, the top 10% pays almost I think 80, 85 or 90% of the taxes.
Yeah,
So they pay, a, and that's the income that that the government makes. The only income that comes to the government is through taxes.
and that's why but they want to keep raising it and raising it,
Yeah,
hurting the middle class more and more until it's diminished, and there's no more middle class.
and
But
there's no, and it's just destruction. It's
yeah,
just
yeah, man,
we're gonna implode from the inside with all of this stuff, and the Democrats are gonna take us right there if we don't do something. So that's
man,
I know that's kind of sobering
you
thought,
know,
but that's what I've been thinking about all day, man, and really all week after the end of last week. I was like, yo, this dude is right, man. I mean, we're not, you think about, mental health and how somebody could take a gun and go to a high school and shoot everybody.
yeah,
But that same mindset, how could somebody, how could hundreds of people stand up on in in Congress, in the Senate, on TV, all for years, knowing that they are telling a lie and saying that Trump was a traitor and that he had ties to Russia. How many people stood up and actually had interviews, went on CNN, went on MSNBC, went on The View, went on, you know what I'm saying? Like all these places stood up, came out of the chambers, and the media is right there, and they just said, "Oh, we got to get rid of him. Trump collusion, Russian collusion, Russian collusion, Russian
uh,
collusion." Right now, um, the indictment, the Durham indictment, we didn't talk about this, so I'm just gonna throw this in there. They just subpoenaed the law office that started all of it, and it was Hillary Clinton, personal lawyer, and the DNC's lawyer. And so they have subpoenaed all of their files, their computers,
yeah,
everything. So they basically, when Trump said, if I was president, you would be arrested. Remember he said that?
yeah.
He's straight up going after her, man. He's still going after her.
Oh, she gonna feel it. She gonna feel it.
And the way that they're saying is the way that it's coming out is that it is so strategic that she's gonna have to be involved in it. Like they could have just put out some indictments, brought everybody to the Senate and had some Senate hearings and talk about it. But
Yeah,
instead of that, he's going straight after the information before all that. So when all that information comes out, they're just gonna drop that into the public eye and say, "This is what I found." Because what's happening is in these indictments, as soon as they come get that information, somebody is basically requesting that information from the government.
right
And
away.
so when when me or you request that information, they have to give it to you.
Because it's
So what's
automatic.
happening is
Yeah,
people are just waiting for all this to happen so that they request it, it comes out, and then they can report on it.
and make it
And
public. Right?
that's why, yeah, and that's why they, I mean, they're going, I mean, they could probably arrest, I'm guessing, why couldn't you arrest somebody for actually lying to the people like Nancy Pelosi standing up there every day talking about Russian collusion, knowing that it was fake, knowing that you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
right.
That's mental health. Like, how could somebody put that face on? That's unhealthy, man.
It's true. It's true, man. But these people are sick, man. I would say we always lay it out to the people like they have nothing for people, only themselves.
Yeah. So I don't. I'll end because I keep on going about that stuff. I just don't get it, man. Either they told themselves the lie so much that they believed it, or they are able to just switch it on and switch it off whenever they want
Yeah, that's what it
to. And I think it's the second, and that's even worse.
is. But either way, like I said, man, the people they always get it here first. They hear us whether we rant, whether we talk about it. It's just they get the real raw facts and get our real emotions here. This is where we lay it all out, and this is how we explain how it affects us in our personal lives. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, whenever you feel like you need to get off your chest, man, this is the place. You know.
This is the place.
So,
Yeah,
but Jeff, man, you my guy. I love you. God bless you.
yeah. Love you too, man.
And
I miss you, man. I miss all of our little meetings during break time and
oh
right
right,
before 11 o'clock, man.
I know,
Coming
man.
out the cafeteria, like, yo, check this out.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Now that you got it all relaxed, now I said now the atmosphere is it's a good atmosphere, but it's just it's not the same.
Yeah. Well, I did hear, I believe what I heard was 6 people left, at least 6 people.
Yeah, yep. I know Chantel
So,
definitely. I say Deshaun left, and I don't know who the other people, 3 other people would be. I
got
know
you.
3 people did come back because of religious order, but they said October 12th that is over.
Yo, yeah, man, these people, man. Because my wife
Hmm.
um got approved for it in U of R, because at first RGH wasn't gonna do it,
Yeah.
and U of R always allowed. They never said that you couldn't do a religious. Um,
Hmm.
but this new governor, man, yo, whenever you get a chance, look at the governor. She just went to, I don't know if she was in church or something. She was talking about God, and she's straight up evil too, man. She's worse than Cuomo.
They probably gonna keep her too because you're a woman.
Yeah, and
You know
she
how
straight up said,
New York gonna be like, yeah,
God
man, it
God
ain't.
gave the scientists the power to make the vaccine, so it's God's vaccine. And if you don't take the shot, you're going against God.
Oh, she was like that with it. Oh no.
Yeah, on the pulpit.
Oh, she gotta go. She gotta go.
Yeah, yeah.
But
So
that's
I
crazy.
believe New York's gonna be a, uh, is it blue or red? What's the
Red,
Republican, right? Red.
red. Yep.
I
Democrats
bet you
blue.
it's gonna. I left too early, but all right, man. Have a wonderful night and a good week. It's only Monday. There's going to be a whole bunch of stuff coming out. So if some serious stuff comes out, I'll hit you up and we'll go live or
Bet.
something.
Definitely. Please let me know, man. Anytime.
All right, then.
All right, bro. Peace.
All right, peace.